What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name's GD, and we are back with another Idiot's Guide. So just in case people are skipping through these, I'm going to say this in every video. It's called an Idiot's Guide because it is by an idiot, not necessarily for an idiot. Okay? So I don't want anyone to get confused. I don't want no hate. I'm the idiot who's making the video. Okay, are we good? Fine, thank you. Right, so there was two videos prior to this one. On the first one we did perception and strength, and we did fortitude and agility. Now we're going to have a look at intellect and the general perks tab. So into the intellect. This is one I don't usually push into too far unless you're running batons. Then I 100% wholeheartedly think you definitely should. First one is Electrocutioner. This is for your Tech Planet magazines. Learn how to use batons more effectively. I can't. It's that word. It's that one. It's that one. Somebody will leave me a message now, or they'll leave me a comment, and it will put it in however many syllables that is. I can't say that word. Your victims easier and do more damage. Boost loot odds of Tech Planet magazines. This is starting out. This is good. This is brilliant. Yeah, new series. Same old me. Where are the instructions? You're smart, but remember to point it away from you and then pull the trigger. All batons deal 10% more damage. Stun batons electrify victims for 20%. Oh crap, 20% longer. Stamina costs are reduced by 8% and 15% for power attacks. Find more batons and parts in loot. So if you're gonna go batons, I mean, a stun baton early doors is not a bad weapon, and it's even better with some of these books you can get. This one at the bottom, the last thing they'll see coming in an executioner with batons. All batons deal 50% more damage. Stun batons electrify victims for 100% longer. Killing blows grant you 30 stamina back. Great set if you want to run batons. So we've got robotics don't unlock until level 3 of intellect, but these are for your punching turrets or your junk turrets, SMG turrets, shotgun turrets, those kinds of things. You're fascinated with robotics. Learn to use and deploy robotic weapons. Boost loot odds of Tech Planet magazines. If you look here as well, Executioner also gives you Tech Planet magazines. And also, this one gives you Tech Planet magazines. So, you have some crazy innovative ideas, but your implementation, see, I could read that one, could use some work. Robotic weapons deal 10% more damage, 30% faster fire rate, and reload an extra 10 rounds. Robot active range is increased from 10 to 14 meters. You can deploy multiple robots, but only the closest will be active. So with these perks here, obviously you can put more rounds into them if you need to. You can walk further away from them and they'll still be active, and you can deploy more robots with these perks. The further you get up, with the bottom one here, 2 deployed robots can be active at once. But the top one, you can put 2 robots down, but only one of them, whichever one is closest to you, only that one will be working at any one time. So they are your robotics. Now you got calculated attack. Use your intellect to determine the shortest trajectory to the target and effectively increase your attack speed with batons. It's as simple as basic math. Attack speeds with batons are 5% faster. 10, 15, 20, 25. So if you're into batons, you're going to get faster attack speeds if you go into this skill base here. So that's all of the combat perks done. Then you've got your influence perks. Better barter. It's going to give you better deals at the trader. Specialise in convincing area traders to give you a better deal. You are good at wheeling and dealing and never pay full price for anything. Get a 5% better deal buying and selling merchandise with traders. So you get 5% better deals buying and selling. There are also some armor bits and some mods and stuff in the game that will also help with that. We'll try and get into that. As long as this is a series that people want to see, I will carry on doing a few things further and further down the line. If you do want to see more of this, though, drop a like on the video right here, right now. Let's get down to the next one. Daring Adventure. Great to throw a point into here a bit early on. Be a daring adventurer. Get better rewards for doing quests. Risking your neck every day has its advantages. Gain access to better trader items and get 5% more dukes. 5% doesn't sound like much, but it certainly builds up over the first few quests for the trader early doors. So especially when you're fighting to get that 600 dukes so you can buy yourself your grill or your pot, whichever one you need more. There's a series that I'm working on at the minute. You'll see what I mean. So yeah, if you want to just get some better rewards from the trader, throw some points into Daring Adventurer. So we've got Charismatic Nature now. Be a daring adventurer. No, hang on. Charismatic Nature. Thank you. You are an inspiration to your allies, increasing their combat prowess. People find your survival stories inspiring. Allies and party members regenerate lost health 50% faster. I don't use this because this is mainly for multiplayer, by the sounds of it. Allies and party members gain 20% more block and melee damage. I've never read this because I've never needed it before. Allies and party members take 10% less damage from all sources. Take half damage from bleeding and stop bleeding twice as fast. Allies and party members find 10% better loot. Allies and party members find 20% better loot and gain +1 to all attributes. So only one person needs to go into Charismatic Nature if you're doing multiplayer. That's interesting. That's really interesting, actually. Okay, I've learned something. Yay me! So basically, unless you're doing multiplayer, you can probably stay away from that. But if you are doing multiplayer, just one of you needs to spec into that. General intellect per physician. This is definitely something I feel you should get into quite quickly. You at least want that intellect level 3. Treated critical injuries heal 15% faster. Medical healing items heal 20% more health over time. Gain 100% more XP using bandages, first aid bandages, first aid kits, and splints and casts cure sprains instantly. That is a must for early doors. So if you can get some points into physician to get that first perk, which is going to be, you're going to need 3 skill points to get into it, because you've got to pump 2 into intellect itself and then 1 into physician. But hell, it's definitely worth it, and it'll help you get your medical journals as well. So it's definitely worth looking into. Now, advanced engineering. Engineer advanced items faster with reduced costs at workstations. Boost loot odds of electrical traps, forge ahead books, handylands, and wiring. So all of those books come from advanced engineering. So it's your Forge Ahead books. It's your Dew collectors, your forges, your workstations, your workbenches, sorry, your chemistry stations, your cement mixers. That's what you need. So I highly recommend popping a point into advanced engineering pretty much early on. You are now at the Stone Age and an apprentice engineer. Gain 50% XP from electrical trap kills. Items craft 20% faster at the forge, and you can craft glue for cheaper. Next down the list is Grease Monkey. Obviously, you can build vehicles, bicycles, mini bikes, motorbikes, 4x4s, gyrocopters. They're the ones that are in game right now. You can craft all of those. You need the books to be able to do it. Learn to build vehicles cheaper from junk in the wasteland. Vehicles can be assembled without this perk boost. Vehicles can be assembled without this perk. Boost loot odds of vehicle adventures magazines. Your passion to tinker and not walk everywhere has led you to the path of the bicycle mechanic. Craft wheels and bicycle parts 33% cheaper. Repair kits are 10% more effective on vehicles. So there is damage to vehicles now. That's been in for a while. So you hit a wall, you hit a stone, you hit a iron node or whatever it is, it's going to damage your car, and you're going to need repair kits to fix it up. But if you want your vehicle, if you need sort of vehicle books, if you're finding them not coming out as quick as you'd like them to, throw a point into Grease Monkey. Last one in here is the Intellect Mastery. Vehicles take 20% less damage and consume 20% less fuel. This one goes all the way up to stun baton charge is always ready. These are all different, aren't they? Sorry. Here we go. Number 2 on this, adds a 24% chance to find a book, magazine or schematic in loot. Adds a 50% chance to gain 2 skill points when reading magazines. That's really cool. Because you can have that, and there's also an outfit which helps with that as well. Then you got stun batons only take 2 hits to charge. This one, stun baton charge is always ready. That is a game changer. That is OP in my opinion. Because with that, with a stun repulsor mod, and is it the nerd tats? So when you hit one and you get them fizzy, it covers a wider area. That's just gonna be, it's gonna be epic. I want to do another stun batons run and see how that kind of goes, to be honest. But if you're running batons, that one right there, it's definitely worth having. Now, this is new. This is the general tab. So, light armor. Specialize in light armor to reduce degradation use. Boost loot odds of armor up magazines. So your armor up magazines will help you craft your armor. Now, I'll go into the armor a little bit. There is certain armors help with certain attributes, and they help with certain weapons and stuff like that. You can mix and match, or you can get the full set to get an extra boost of something. But we'll go into that at whatever point there is. But if you want any of this, we'll just give you armor up books. The light armor, the medium armor, or the heavy armor. They will all give you armor up books if you spec into any of them. I like the lighter armor. There are mods in game where if you've got the heavy armor, you can put the mods in and it will quieten it all down a bit, which is kind of cool. So if you're not finding any armor books, just throw a point into one of these 3 up here. This one might move a little awkward in heavy armor, but you're alive to talk about it. Reduce heavy armor movement and stamina penalties by 5%. Reduce durability used by 15%. That's the heavy stuff. Medium, started on the path to the moderately armored warrior. Read a bit slower. Reduce medium armor movement by 15% and stamina penalty by 10%. Reduce durability used by 15%. Find more armor parts in loot. Light armor can withstand some stress, but requires care. Reduce durability by 15%. That's your armor books. Master Chef. It's going to help you get your cooking books. It's going to help you cook quicker, cook better things. So learn how to become a master chef. Decrease cooking time and ingredients needed for your favorite recipes. Boost loot odds of home cooking weekly magazines and cooking ingredients. That says there, learn how to become a master chef. Decrease cooking time and ingredients needed. I wonder, is it 2 eggs and 4 meat for a bacon and eggs? I'm going to have to test this out and see if that's going to be a cheaper, see if it's going to be cheaper ingredients on that if you've maxed that out. Cooking is not your thing, but you know some basics. Use 20% less of the recipe's main ingredients. Cook 40% faster. That's interesting. What's the army cook? 40% less of the recipe's main ingredients. Still going to be quite a bit though. That's something I'll have to check out. But if you want to build up your cooking skills, throw a point into Master Chef. Then we've got living off the land. You can make farm plots, you can plant seeds, and you can grow your own crops. Specialize in harvesting more crops using your hands or a tool. Boost loot odds of southern farming magazines. Double the harvest of wild or planted crops. Farm plots cost 30% less to craft. So you want to build your own little farm up. I normally do them for, depending on what I'm going to be eating. If I want like meat stew or something like that, I'll throw corn in, I'll throw potatoes in. Mushrooms, you can just stick them to walls. You don't need to worry about them too much. But if farming is something you want to be doing, throw a point into living off the land. Lock picking. Learn to pick locks faster and break fewer lock picks. We shouldn't have lock picking as it is in game. Shouldn't be in game. If you ask me, it just shouldn't. Give us a mini game. Make it skill based. Don't let me rely on the game to whether or not it's going to let me in. You know, if you've got 2 police cars right next to each other, you could go into one of them and it'll take you in on the first pick. Go over to the next one, it could take you 11 or 12 picks to get in. It's garbage. I'd rather see a mini game where we have to do it and, you know, put one thing over there and one thing over there until they kind of, and it goes click and it's done. That's fine. That would be so much better. So I don't really go into these if I'm honest. I mean, it says break fewer lockpicks, but what's the bottom one on this? You are now a world-class safecracker. Pick locks 60% faster and have a 30% lower chance to break a lockpick. No, make it skill-based. Don't believe in it. Lucky Looter. Specialise in tracking down the mother loader, maybe getting a little extra for your trouble. You find better loot with every perk level. Get a slim chance to find better loot. Adds 5% to loot bonus for containers that you open personally. Looting is 10% faster. Highly recommend throwing a point into Lucky Looter early doors. Definitely. So there we go. That is all of the perks should now be covered. I think. Yeah, I think we've done them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them are done. I am now going to shut you like that. I'm not going to record any more of these until these 3 videos have gone out. If you like these videos, let me know by hitting the like button. Drop me a comment. If I get enough likes on these videos, get enough likes, get enough views, I'll keep doing them. But I need those likes. I need you to tell me, and I need you to tell YouTube that you want to see more of these videos. And if you do, I'll make some more. All right? But if you have enjoyed, drop that like, drop that comment. But more importantly, look after yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one.